The NEW program stands for New Economic Evolution of the World. Why evolution? The Russian territory went through 4 revolutions. Some countries did even more so. We want to avoid that. The aim of our society is to evolve. And here we are talking about the new economic evolution of the world, i.e., one of the most important goals is for people to become literate, both in finance and investments. Over the last 100 years of our history, many processes have changed, but unfortunately, people have been living their lives very similar to how they did 100 years ago. Well, we have better phones, TV sets, etc., but essentially the human condition has not improved, simply because society has been illiterate as far as finance and investing are concerned. Andrey Khovratov, a multidisciplinary professional investor, a coach and a business trainer in financial and investment-driven development of personality, the author and the creator of the Academy of a Private Investor, the chairperson of the investment board of the International Association Generals of the World for Peace. The NEW enables people to become co-owners of many businesses, especially of those whose services and products they use. I'll give you a simple example. Let's assume all people here in Russia are co-owners of supermarkets, food stores and household chemicals stores. And the more they consume, the higher their dividends are, and the more dividends they earn, the more they can consume. Let's take another example. They become co-owners of a power supply system. So when you use energy, your dividend income grows. It took us almost 100 years to come to the notion of being a co-owner, a shareholder in a company. However, new companies do not always do market promotion. Crowd economy, crowdfunding and crowd investing are now close on our heels. On January the 1st, 2020, the relevant program will be fully rolled out in the Russian Federation. Crowdfunding and crowd investing allow common people to become co-owners of different companies, on different terms, with different parameters, and to benefit from it. It can be a financial benefit, or it can be a chance to go on vacation with a discount. One of the aims is to make the economy in the future pass into the new economic evolution of the world through people being educated and literate. Historically, the United States have been the global leader in terms of financial literacy, because more than 75% of its population have brokerage accounts in the US stock market. Actually, their pension program is made in such a way that whether you want it or not, you have accounts in brokerage companies. When you receive the retirement certificate, go on pension, you can do with that retirement certificate whatever you want. In our countries, this whole thing is being pulled back. However, the society has arrived to the point when, thanks to our entry into stock markets, we can stimulate our own economy. One of the recent examples is when the creator of Tesla, Elon Musk, back in the day raised money for the first cars through crowdfunding. They exhibited a car at an expo and he said, "This is the car I would like to produce." A certain amount of money was raised and the plant was put into operation. Here's the principle of an absolutely new economy, not in theory, but already in practice. So what can be achieved through the new? It's the growth and stimulation of our economy. When people, by using products and services or by being co-owners of some businesses, can both stimulate the development of those businesses and become consumers of the products of those businesses. It's quite a good thing. Unfortunately, both 1998 and 2008 showed many investors, many private investors, that you could not blindly trust companies which said, "Bring us your money, we know how to make more of it." There's no point in it. Today, you need to learn how to do it. So, in 2011, I founded the Academy of a Private Investor to educate the masses and teach them financial and investment literacy. I draw a conclusion that in the communities and countries with financially and investment literal populations, in times of crisis, people do not fail. On the contrary, they start making even more money. Whereas the countries with poorly developed financial and investment literacy and education, in times of crisis, suffer recession, hardship, and people going through difficult times. In 2011, after yet another crisis of 2008, I founded the Academy of a Private Investor to teach people financial and investment literacy. For them to know how to place their money correctly, how to safeguard their money, and most importantly, protect their money from losses. Do people lose money when they invest? Yes, they do. However, an important task is to learn how to create an investment portfolio, or a global investment portfolio, which would allow people, even if they lose money with some instruments, to turn a profit, a big profit, thanks to the other instruments. I'll give you a simple example. You've invested in 10 different instruments. Gazprom stocks, stocks of some unknown company, Apple stocks, a renowned company, Microsoft, Nickel in Russia, Sberbank stocks, and stocks in some unknown companies. So if 3 or 4 companies fail and go into the red, and the other companies yield a profit, and as for Sberbank, last year it showed the biggest profit. It wasn't Lukoil, Gazprom or Nickel. Percentage-wise, Sberbank's profits put it ahead of many American and European companies. If you place your money in 10 instruments and 3 or 4 of them go into the negative territory, you still have other instruments showing a good yield. How can you do it? Only thanks to knowledge. And quite recently, in our academy, we created a game-based training called Genius of Finance. It's a board game, like Monopoly, or a good game called Cash Flow, created by Robert Kiyosaki, and teaching investing. Genius of Finance is something in between Monopoly and Cash Flow, where people over 4 or 5 hours of playing can see what they did wrong with their money for the past 6-7 years. They can, in the present, do their homework, create flows, make balance sheets. I, as a business coach with a long service record, found out one unique thing in this game. When you train people and give them their home assignment, they often do not do it. Whereas here, for 4 hours, whether you want it or not, you have to do your homework. You take a calculator, you draw the balance. And the quicker you do your math, the quicker you buy instruments. Those who have more assets will sooner make it to the big circle of the game and become big businessmen. You can go bankrupt too. You become a big businessman, take a wrong step and go back to the small circle of success, the circle of development. Genius of Finance can show it to you very quickly. In my opinion, we combined 3 very important themes here. The new economic evolution of the world cannot be implemented if the society is not educated. We, as the Academy of a Private Investor, took on a task of educating people. Today, we have almost 1 million people in different countries. Around 50% of them are Russians, nearly 500,000 who receive primary knowledge. Then people can move forward and receive in-depth knowledge. And thanks to that knowledge, people can either pick instruments on their own and invest where they want, and we give advice if they request it. Or they can enter the programs that were created within the new economic evolution of the world that we are implementing. So I want to say that the new economic evolution of the world has already set in many places. It is already in operation in different economic systems. It does not mean that there are places where the theory does not work. It works in China too. There is proof that this economy works. There's a village called Huasi, where every resident is a shareholder of Huasi Corporation. And Huasi is a corporation exporting different goods and services. So being shareholders, they receive income from the sale of goods all over the world. Today we use Facebook, the well-known social media. Its shareholders are not only co-owners, they receive dividends paid by the company every 3 months. When people create an ad or just use it, they receive dividends too. It is already in operation. We did not invent something new. We just decided to bring that system together and enable people to work either with our platform or the entire world through our platform, or directly with any brokerage company. Nowadays, people, instead of working for money, would like to do something they enjoy and receive money for it. But people have lots of obligations, like to provide for their families, to pay the mortgage, pay the lease on the car. So instead of doing what they enjoy, they have to earn money to make a living, to cover their costs. With the new program, people after becoming co-owners in different projects can receive dividends, which in 4, 5, 10 years tops will yield a passive income exceeding their current salary. Then people can do something they enjoy and benefit the entire society. It has been observed that statistically, if people work by doing something they like, their productivity is 10 times higher than when they do something they don't like. And naturally, the new program can be implemented only if there is world peace. And if you ask any person what he or she would identify as the top priority, money, health or peace, 90% or even 95% of people reply peace first, then health, and third money. And it's only natural. If there is no peace, people won't think about health or money. The main goal is to survive. That's why last year the Academy of a Private Investor signed an agreement with the International Association Generals of the World for Peace. Here, last year, on the 28th or the 29th of March, we signed the agreement with Anatoly Skargin, a general of the association, and started taking actions in that area, creating the movement. And it turns out that many of our clients are also generals and support the idea and very quickly joined this association. Some of them are already members in other peace organizations in Africa, Asia. They filed an application and became members of this association. I'm the head of the investment department in that association. And this year, I'm very glad and overwhelmed by some strong emotions that I was awarded the rank of Major General. I became the first citizen Major General of the Association Generals of the World for Peace. And I remembered my mom saying that she always dreamt that I would become a general. And I told her, "Look, Mom, I've become a businessman and a business coach and a general at the age of 50. Now I realize that only thanks to world peace, people can become rich, prosperous, happy and well off. So one of our important tasks is to unite, hence our work with the Association Generals of the World for Peace. Our plans fit together. My aim, the aim of the Academy, is to teach people financial and investment literacy, more than 1 billion people. And naturally, when I met General Skargin, I asked him, "What is your goal?" He said, "I want more than 1 billion people join the association, and when we get over 1 billion people, world peace will set in." My two goals meet together, and I'm very glad that in that association I'm also bearing the flag of peace. World peace is possible only when the society is educated and literate. The other day I read an article somewhere on the web that in the 21st century Homo sapiens should become Homo spiritus, a spiritual human being, to carry inside the spirit of strength, love, prosperity, peace and wealth.